Good morning, everyone, and thank you for listening to Dark Thoughts of Hope. I would just like to thank the now 22 people that are listening. Um, it's it's a slow build, but it's getting there. I have faith. I'm sure most of you are family and friends, but I'm hoping that if you are enjoying this podcast, you'll share this with your friends and family, because I am just trying to start a conversation about mental health and reach people. Normally, I read from I Know What You Did Last Summer, but the book's all the way out in the garage, so I'm not going to go out there and get it. I will tell you that I have some good news. I don't know if anyone is familiar with Americans for Suicide Prevention. They're an organization that combats suicide by spreading information and knowledge about statistics, honestly. My family and I have been walking with them for about 9 years. They are really great. When we go there, it's like you're walking with family and you don't even know them. People give you hugs. They share their stories of family members or friends that they lost, and you feel like you're part of a community, which is why I have decided to give back. So far, I have made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 paintings, but I'm sure by November 2nd that I'll make a little bit more. I came up with the idea of bringing them with me to the walk that we do in Maryland and donating them to Americans for Suicide Prevention for them to either give away or auction for their cause. I asked my aunt, and she thought it was a really, really, really great idea. And I'm so excited because, I mean, I can advertise my book by doing so. They usually write thank yous and post them on their website. And I'll just tell them to thank author of Made a Horrible Mistake, Teresa Foley. And when people see that, they'll be like, oh, this person wrote a book? That's awesome. I want to get it. And they'll order it, and my royalties will go up, and I'll be able to donate even more to Americans for Suicide Prevention, because that was the whole idea in the first place. But now I'm thinking, and don't laugh at me for this, since I recently became ordained and can officiate weddings. My new dream, and I know it's going to sound so lame and very impossible, but my new dream is to buy a small church and be a preacher. I know, it sounds stupid, but I feel like if I'm being led towards anything, I'm being led towards God. I mean, everybody knows how much I want to meet him. Not in like a, oh my God, I'm going to take my life way, but like, I mean, he created me. He created all of us. I wouldn't be here without him. You wouldn't be here without him. I want to know the guy who made me. Is that asking so much? I don't think that it is. And there is a church in Brookville that I could go to. I'm going to actually try and take a drive there today and see if they're open. I don't know if they will be. It's this church in Brookville. It's a little area of Waretown. The church is so beautiful. It's very small. Could probably fit like tops 20 people. And they need a preacher that I know of. Now, obviously, I didn't go to like ministry school. But, I mean, why should that matter? I wouldn't just be preaching about God. I would be preaching about taking care of your mental health and doing what you're supposed to do to keep your health healthy. Like, I don't know, my whole dream is just to like start a movement. But I'm only one person. They tell you all the time one person is enough to change the world. But how do you do it if no one wants to listen? I don't know. I guess in a way that's why I started this podcast. Because I know that it'll get someone and they'll listen. And that's all I want is I want someone to listen. At the end of the day, that's all I want. I've actually been happier since I made this podcast. Because it's like I'm getting everything that's inside of me bottled up with a cork is free. My sister and I had an argument because I don't really share shit. So I sent her this and I told her, if you want to know what's on my mind, listen to this podcast. This podcast is literally my therapy. Because like I said, I'm cut off from my health insurance. My medication I can only take in rations. I don't have a job. But I am doing Uber and Lyft. I don't have a car, but I'm using my brother's. It's the recipe for suicide, but I'm fighting every single day. And I'm also wondering if maybe I was meant to make this podcast. I don't know. But I know people are starting to pay attention and they're starting to listen. So I'm not going to give up on it. And I'm just going to keep on making material. And people will listen. I mean, they already are now. I didn't think I'd have a listener at all. And I got 22. Or should I say... I have Taylor Swift. for those of you who are wondering why I would say something like that, Taylor Swift wrote a song called 15 and another called 22. When me and my grandma would play blackjack, if we got 15 or 22, we would yell out Taylor Swift. And now that she's gone, I don't have anyone to play with. So sometimes I play online for free. And when I get 22 or 15, I can't help smiling or laughing because I just think of my grandmother. And I don't know if I told you guys this, but my mom told me during my last mental break that I had, she walked in the room one time and found me with my middle finger in the air, just flipping off the ceiling. And I couldn't stop laughing because I know who I was flipping off. I was flipping off my grandmother. That used to be our thing. That used to be how we greeted one another. I would walk into the nursing home with Mila. She'd say, "Ah, Mila!" And then I'd flip her off and put my finger in her face, and she'd flip me off and put her finger in my face. And we'd laugh, and we'd catch up, and we'd watch movies. I miss her. But I know she's here. She made my phone glitch a couple times yesterday. I'm choosing to believe that was her saying, "Hey, I'm still here, Teresa. You just got to use your imagination to see me." So that's what I've been doing. I've been using my imagination to visit my family that I miss in heaven. And it may sound silly to you, but it's comforting to me and it's getting me through. I'm not going to ramble much more. I will just say thank you to everyone who is listening. You guys are amazing. Oh, and also, I wasn't kidding when I said that I was ordained. I did get ordained. I can officiate weddings now. I did so I could officiate, hopefully, a couple of my friends' weddings because they seem to be engaged and in love and happy. So I told my one friend, Gabby, that I would get ordained so when she's ready, I can officiate her wedding as my wedding gift, because what is a better wedding gift than officiating your best friend's wedding? Nothing that I could think of. All right. This is Teresa Foley signing off. Thank you for listening to Dark Thoughts of Hope. Have a great day and God bless.